Hey, Ghost. Hey, Ghost, how you doing? Good to see you. What's going on, Ronnie? It is a rainy night tonight. A rainy night tonight. I actually got a new Mercedes-Benz, man. Wow, I'll tell you what, Ronnie. Some people really know how to live the high life, dude. Some people really got it going on. Got it really going on. I'm doing great, Ghost. Thank you. Gonna be doing some shaking and baking tonight. We're gonna make some pecan cinnamon rolls tonight. Pecan, freaking pecan. Should be a good night tonight. Kelly, what's going on? Dr. Frankenstein, how are you? Last night, oh, I had that soup for this morning. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was so good. It was still warm. Popped her into the fridge. Just on, yeah. Well, sorry about that, Kelly. I was a little occupied. We had a hell of a fun stream tonight. Saturday night's a little hard. It's a little, it's a little lower key because I'm not really in my drink too much. How you doing, Tara? What's going on? In Santa Rosa, it's raining so hard. Why don't you come by Railroad Square and say hi? I'm going to get a cup of coffee. It's 50 degrees. Woo, what happened to our 85, 88 degree days? Those days of wine and rose. What's up, Jim Rock? Roses. La do 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 do. Ba bee 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 bee. La da da. Ooh ooh ooh. Cindy, how you doing? You can have the rain, babe. Not my cup of tea. I can't think of a better night to do some baking. Tonight, this too shall pass. We shall have sunny days next week. That's the way it is. The lovely Cindy rocks in the chat. Funny, whenever Tara comes up, we always laugh because Tara likes this kind of weather, and I like San Diego, sunny every day. Nice. So I thought that was pretty funny. Let's hit that thumbs up button just coming in. It's very appreciated. I appreciate everybody taking the time to be here tonight. If you could like up the stream, give a like. So much the better. I don't have channel memberships, GoFundMes, Patreons. I'm not out here pimping products. And just you and your thumbs up is the only membership we ever have here, the only membership we ever will have. All content for all people all the time. You can see we have a pretty rainy night tonight, but gonna have some fun doing some baking. I appreciate making the dough for the pecan rolls this afternoon to let that rise, and then we're gonna be having some fun. I'm going to Olive Garden tonight. It must be down in Roner Park. I don't know. Every time it's rainy, it just makes me feel. It makes me tired. It makes me feel tired. I don't know what the hell is sliding around in here. I don't know. My EpiPen. So we got the pecans. We got it all, just like Bogey and Bacall. Starring in our own late show. Sailing on to Key Largo. We had it all, just like Bogey and Bacall. Starring in our own late show. Rob a bank and get some dough. Saturday night shake and bake. Well, you guys will be happy. You'll be proud of me. I finished my taxes today after a 2-day marathon. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Tick it all down, man. It's just like, wow. It was a marathon session, and then the California one is twice as long. Oof. It's a rainy night in Santa Rosa. What's going on, Eddie? How you doing? What's going on, bro? Man, this stuff is coming down as we navigate the S-curve of doom. I don't know another city that has an S-curve of doom like that. That's what I say, Ronnie. That's why I did a preliminary squeegee job last night. I mean, what a way to get the job done. And this car looks as good as the day that I got it. You don't ever see rust out here. Man, it is pouring here. Oh, this dude finally finished painting his building blue. Wow, I didn't think that was ever going to happen. Do. Our love is here to say. It's very clear. I'm gonna have a cup of coffee today. Hope everybody had a good day. I always breathe a tremendous sigh of relief when I push taxes aside for another year. Another year. Make sure you get all your deductions proper. Wow, this stuff is really coming down. How you doing, Melody? Nice to see you, hon. You're in time for the shake and bake tonight. The shake and the bake. Oh, yes. I got a prime spot, baby. Prime. So, yeah, I'm all done with taxes. What a 2-day horror show. 2-day horror show. a coffee. All right, we got 7-Eleven boy getting out of his truck here. What are we doing? Are we getting in? Are we getting out? We don't know what we're doing. It's like a Puff Daddy here. That's like a marshmallow. I don't know whether he's cleaning his vehicle or what the hell he's doing. I don't know. He's about 5 feet from the curb stop. What is Wonder Boy doing? I don't know. What it be, bro? What it be? Oh, I gotta get a coffee, Ghost. I mean, it is chilly today. I was spoiled by the months of February and March. This is like being back in January again. This is a deep dive. Imagine they're serving up their big meats tonight over there, but it's gonna be raining, raining, raining. With the big meats. Ode to joy. Do, 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 do. Shawnee, how are you? It's a rainy night in Santa Rosa. The fur will fly tonight. We're gonna make something. We haven't made a real, well, we made that coconut cake, was outstanding. Now we're gonna go make some pecan rolls for a treat. I have this bag of pecans. You could use walnuts too if you wanted. We're gonna enjoy that. I'm gonna get some coffee. You'd be surprised how many baked goods that I put a little bit of cayenne pepper in. People just know that the flavor has a little more of an edge on it, and they can't figure out why. You gotta brighten up people's chops. I'm so happy today because my taxes are put away for another year. What a total horror show. Do, 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 do. We've got flooding over there. We've got flooding over there. Well, Melody, you're too kind, honey. How you doing there, Daniel? I have baked so many years here, Melody, and every Friday night used to be baking. It was a tradition for many years. Of course, all those years I was wearing significantly less than I do now when I'm baking. But they always turned out, and the stuff always turned out good. And that taught me a lot about baking. And thank you for your nice comment about this morning's video. I think a lot of people thought I was announcing that I was dying or something. And I guess I could have picked a better title, but I didn't want to take words out of Larry Ellison's mouth. So welcome in. We got a ton of people, 52, and we only got 18 thumbs up. How you doing, Russ? Good to see you in New York City, the New Jersey side. Good old Jersey. Good old Jersey. I might be able to have a place to stay up there when I go, because if you look at hotel prices in New Jersey, you'll just go out of your mind. In New York City, the hotel prices. No, but I appreciate your comments. I enjoy doing philosophical / theological topics. Okay, we're just gonna walk right across the parking lot here, aren't we? There we go. We don't know what we're doing. We're picking up stuff. We're gonna pick up the cigarette off the ground. We don't know what we're doing. Might be wet. We can dry it out. We don't know. Yeah, thank you, Shawnee. I've been very happy of the number of people that have been checking them out because you know, you don't want to ever underestimate your audience. And that's one thing I never do. Is you know, people here, you tend to get the audience of what you deliver and stuff like that. So let's I didn't know what the hell they were doing over there, to be honest with you. I didn't know what the hell was going on. All right, let's turn that off. It's not too cold that I need the heat on. Boy, could you imagine if I had planted the bok choy or whatever? Wow, and my carrots, that'd be forever. So I gotta wait till that sun. Really, you gotta wait till the 15th. Even then, you never know. So this is kind of an unusual storm that we have here right now. So, but we were enjoying this really warm weather spell, and then all of a sudden, it's like we're back in January again. So the cats don't know what to make of it. So I guess I'll give them some extra chow tonight to build up their thermal layers. For last week they were sweating, hiding in the shade because of the heat. Thought they were going to have thunderstorms. Yeah, we had them overnight Friday into Saturday. No, Thursday into Friday. They weren't as violent as those ones before. What's going on, Tina? How are you, honey? Nice to see you. This rain has been crazy today. We have a lot of urban and localized flooding here. Some of the streets. I like to think it's setting everything really well. The fruit trees are being beautifully watered. The tomato plants that I put in, they're not the happiest with the cold. And the onions. I don't know, since that's planting the seeds in, I have to start them undercover. They just pummel the seeds into the dirt. I do pretty doggone well with seeds. I mean, we've grown heritage tomatoes from seeds and done very well. The problem with heritage tomatoes is the production is not very much. Yeah, well, you know, Tina, I'm not really a rain person. That's more terrorist department. I'm more sun, beach, hot days, dry, warm nights with breezes. Yeah, I'm sure my little tomato plants aren't going to like it, but I can always replant if I don't like, you know, if they get in trouble. You like camping, and I did a lot of that when I was a kid. Did a lot of that camping. No, I got the van. This would be a good night to be in the van, to be out. But it's not fun when it's raining. At least it's dry. You don't have to worry about leaking. Ice fishing in northern Minnesota. Well, I'm hoping this week I might get a chance to go crabbing. I haven't tasted crab in a while since I got that big fat boy. That was so good. Give it up. What's going on, BW? Not a huge fan of rain. I just don't like the rain. It's just depressing. I don't like camping. I don't do any camping anymore. This is always a good vehicle to be boondocking in out there on the streets if you're going to be on the road. This is not the worst vehicle on planet Earth. Oh, this coffee definitely hits the spot. So it looks like sometime around the 24th or, yeah, probably 23rd or 24th of April, we'll be taking off. We'll be taking off for LA. I'll probably be down there for 3 nights, and then we're on to Vegas. Simple ride. We head up the mountains to the high desert country, and I'll probably be there a week or so. Now, between then and now, we do have a chance to do another trip. I thought Boss would install Aquarium in his new car. I couldn't believe. I was shocked when I saw the changes. The house, the wow, and then they got a new car on top of it. And I was like, wow. No, I'm going to LA first, Magda. I have to complete the painting down in Vegas. I like to have something to do down there that makes a difference when I go down. And then at nighttime, I get the joy of running the live streams and doing all that. We always end up with at the Atomic, and Melody will tell you, you never know what the hell is going to happen at the Atomic. I love the shade around. Beautiful, isn't it? When the weather gets good, Tina. Hey, Mills. Staying out, do Forest Lawn Tour and skip Vegas. No, I don't do the. I've already done the cemeteries in Vegas. How you doing, Amanda? They don't have as many visitors. Well, I go to the cheapest place I can stay, and I don't spend a lot of money in Vegas. It's going to be good because once you get into June, then it's just too damn hot. It's too damn hot. Theoretically, this operation should be a lot easier now than doing all that extensive cutting work that I did, painting and everything else. I mean, that's when you're doing house trim, that's very, very labor intensive. Forest Lawn and Betty Davis is better than Forever Center. A lot more stuff. Yeah, but you know, I really don't care. I mean, I saw Cecil B. DeMille's thing, and I just am not that interested in it. To be honest, Betty gave the description. I did it my way. Not going to be in my pantheon of famous. Well, my favorite female actresses. She would not be in that. Hey, how you doing, Simon? How you doing? Who's that? Sprawl. How you doing? She would. I always felt like she was acting all the time. I think her first breakout role that she did with I don't know, the guy that ended up. It was called. I can't remember what it was called. It was a 1930s movie. Yeah, Of Human Bondage. I thought that was her best thing with the guy that played Ashley Wilkes on Gone with the Wind. I thought that was a good one. I'm making a pot of coffee. I'll join you. Yes, that's it. I need it. Based on the Somerset Maugham novel. Yes, it was a good. It was good. I thought she was very fresh and genuine in that. And she was excellent in Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. She was like perfect for that role as a crazy loon. It was perfect. Yeah, please hit the thumbs up button. I thought it was so good. And she lost the Oscar. Did you give the Oscar to Violet Dangerous then again for Jezebel? Well, you know, it was. She had her moments. All About Eve. You know, Dark Victory. You know, I've looked at all her, checked her whole portfolio. And the consolation prize. Well, one year she thinks that Joan Crawford sabotaged her in the voting. That's why I thought it was so unusual that they paired those two together for whatever happened to Baby Jane. Yeah, she was definitely unique, so you can't take away from her. I mean, shit, I'd even see her on Dick Cavett. She was there one time with Janis Joplin. Yeah, they hate each other. I thought it was funny that Joan Crawford was associated with Pepsi-Cola as a board member. When she was on the movie set, whatever movie, she got fired on or something, and she quit in a huff or something, and they got rid of the Pepsi, and they had that picture of Joan Crawford drinking that Coca-Cola on the stage. And told them not to vote in the nominees, and she would accept the award on their behalf. Huh. Yeah, wasn't that a funny interview? I mean, good Lord, can you think of two people more dissimilar? Betty Davis and Janis Joplin on the singing. That's what I love, Dick Cavett. But it was a deal, man. Those two did not get along. To be honest, I always thought Joan Crawford looked a little bit mannish. I don't know. Sometimes it's a very fine line. I thought it was great when it was the actress that played her in Mommy Dearest. Says, "Don't fuck with me, boys." I don't have to say she had she had very masculine sort of features to her. And who was that played her? I can't remember the actress's name. Faye Dunaway played her. Don't F with me, boys. Yeah. That was good. Yeah. I don't know whatever happened to her kids. I don't know if, there's a lot of damage there. There was a lot of those, that daughter was in her feelers a lot. That was Faye Dunaway, and Betty Davis hated her too. Man, that's beautiful. What are my plans for today, Sprawl? I'm going to be sitting here and enjoying my coffee for a while, about an hour or so. Then we're going to head down to the Rancho. We're going to be making some pecan rolls tonight, cinnamon pecan rolls. That's what's on the agenda tonight. We're gonna do some baking. I started about 1 o'clock today and started some dough to let that ferment a little bit, rise. So that's my plan. Carole Lombard was good. She was elegant. Just like a lot of other people were like Joan Fontaine. I could never warm up to Joan Fontaine. Just some of them. I mean, when I like the kind of actress like Donna Reed, bubbly, and just the pretty girl next door type. The Teresa Rice, just that kind. What's going on, Icy? The reason I know, if you look to him and Donnie, Betty talks trash. Imagine that, and she'd still be smoking her cigarette, weighing all of about 80 pounds, sitting there, blistering. Well, I tell you about young Crawford. She was, well, be careful now, Betty. Yeah, I say what the hell I want to say. My man Godfrey is a huge, yeah. Well, you couldn't beat William Powell as outstanding, tremendous actor. Tremendous actor. He's the opposite of Irene Dunn in, can't remember what the hell the movie was. I don't know. They were good in it. Life with Father or something like that was good. Good evening. How you doing, Alex? I like Betty the Olivia de Havilland, yeah. So many gone now. That's it. Do-do-do-do. William Powell was just an amazing, very commanding presence. I loved everything that he was in. And I liked Irene Dunn. She was very pretty. Maureen O'Hara. Yeah, it is. We're not going to be out here too long in the rain, but good memory. Carole Lombard was killed in a plane. You know, I don't know, Magda, if you ever heard the tragedy of her death. She was one of the first casualties of civilian casualties of World War II from the American side. It was very early on after Pearl Harbor, and Americans were very fearful of another attack occurring somewhere in the West Coast. So she signed up to go on a war bond tour, and there was a lot of publicity for her appearance, and she got to Las Vegas. She had a quota of a certain amount of money to raise, and she raised it very quickly, much quicker than they thought that she would raise it for Liberty, but war bonds. So she decided to fly out from Vegas that night. But the problem is that you're up in the desert, but there's some pretty good mountain peaks up there by Las Vegas. And because they were fearful of another surprise attack, they turned off a lot of the lights that were that would guide pilots at nighttime on the mountains and stuff. And their altitude was not high enough. And they wrecked up near Goodlands. It's about 10 miles outside of Vegas. And the news got telegrammed to Clark Gable, and he drove up from LA or flew up or something like that. And he got drunk at the Pioneer Bar for like 2 days there. While the search team was up on the mountain searching, they found the wreckage. There's still wreckage up there today from that, because it's, hey Kathy, because it's a tough climb to get up there. So a lot of the wreckage is still up there from that plane crash. So that was a real tragedy when that happened. So that was the end of her. And then the disappearance of Glenn Miller, somewhere between England and France. I really don't know a word in Polish, bro, to be honest with you. I know you're in Poland there. I just know Polska. Just from the postage stamps I used to see when I was a kid. Otherwise, I'm ashamed to tell you, I don't really know any, I don't know any Polish. I know Poland's a great country. I know it's got a well-developed food culture and it's a very cultural, it's been a country of tragedy, of course. but it's produced some great cultural icons. Padashevsky and Chopin. That was my mother's favorite on piano, was Chopin. Complicated but good. So that was the end of Carole Lombard. And I'm gonna go. I haven't visited that bar. I think the next time I go to Vegas, I'm gonna make a stop because I leave LA pretty early. I got time to run out there and check the Pioneer Bar. It's a biker bar now. Out there, I'm not hiking up no mountain, but I'm just saying I'll be around that area. So they still have the pictures of him sitting at the bar there, and real loss for America. A real loss for the nation. So yeah, that was bad. That was bad. I don't know if Clark Gable ever recovered from that. I don't know. Eddie, the rain is coming down. And it's not going to be too much longer, I don't think, next day or two. And then it'll still be cool, but it'll be sunny. It'll be sunny during the days. Such a tragic event for sure. How you doing, how you doing, Jimmy? And that bar is still operational today. You can drive off the highway. I think it's near Jean, Jean. And you can drive out that way to, I might stop there next time. I usually try to put a feature every time I travel or something, so don't be waving your police baton if you go into that bar. I'm telling you, Melody, it's got a reputation of, and it's really bad. I don't even have a selfie stick with me tonight, but it's pretty. I would be very careful about. Yeah, how you doing, boys? What's going up, bros? What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on, man. Your ass is going to be in the floor in about 5 seconds. So, any last words? Let me just start the stream. Hold on. This will be. People are going to love this people are going to love this on YouTube. He was single, but then married twice. His brief, he never married her because she married Prince Rainier. Yeah, he was another actor I never really, I don't know. You look at Marlon Brando or somebody like that. It was his acting, or even Jackie Gleason, so flawless. Yeah, let me get it on video. Let me check give up these microphones rather than typing. That's fine, Jimmy. Yeah, let me at least get the camera set so, might get a clip out of this. Yeah, I've never stopped there all these years. The last time I made a stop. Have you ever eaten dumplings? This is a Polish dish. Well, they might disagree with you in China a little bit, but Polish pierogies or whatever, Polish cookies are outstanding. They dust them with, they have these fancy irons that they stick into the oil, and then they dust them with powdered sugar. Ooh, man. Wow, it's like them and the Italians. Ooh. I remember I was back in Baltimore visiting for YouTube, and stopped at, showed people the street that I lived on for a while. In Little Italy, across the street from the D'Alessandro family, Nancy Pelosi's family, over there in St. Leo's Church, and they were having like baked goods down in the basement of the church. I just kind of wandered in. Why not? The ladies like, would you like a couple cookies? Sure. You look vaguely familiar to us. You've been here before? Yeah. years ago. Russian pelmet is better than Polish dumplings for me personally. Potato dumplings. Uh, yeah, no, I've had their Polish cookies are pretty spectacular and stuff. I think it's got a good sausages. You know, if you're going to have a meat fest, that's a great country to have a meat fest. By the way, any support is appreciated as I start accumulating shekels for getting on the road. It was a punishing tax season this year. People always say, did you declare your YouTube stuff? Of course I did. You think I want to go through all their audit BS and all that? Polish, Ruski, or potato. I think you're thinking about gnocchi, which is Italian. I don't know. What's going on, Shimei? Hopefully, I don't know if Shimei can drink Saturday night. She's got to be up early for services on Sunday. You got a fireball or not? No, I'm at potato dumplings. I don't know. I've never had. I couldn't really identify what the dish of Poland is. I don't know. You know, I'm not familiar with a lot of Eastern European. I don't like goulash. Well, thank you, Melody. Here's some gas money. Thank you very much. Wow, I appreciate that. Boy, ask and you shall receive. I mean, holy hell, thank you. I have no idea about Poland or anything. Well, let's not be insulting. I mean, we don't have to be experts about things. Thank you, Melody. That was so sweet of you. I appreciate it. Really do. Let's give Melody the thumbs up there on that. Thank you very much. Always so kind. Yeah, give that the good old thumbs up. Yeah, I don't know a lot about Eastern Europe. I remember my daughter was in the Czech Republic, and she sent me a picture of a big chicken on the table with a big schooner of beer. This is mine. The Czech beer is supposed to be. Czech beer is supposed to be out of this world. So I would go for the. She couldn't read the blurb or the language. She just pointed the menu at this looks good. Stay blessed every day, superhero. I don't know who in the hell hot dog. You probably chatting, watching 4 chats and chatting in the wrong one. So I think I don't really know. Romania, you start to get dark and mysterious when you get in Bulgaria, Albania. Have you seen meat molds? Lots of meat dishes within this aspic gel. I have. Yeah, the French do a bit of that aspic gel too. I'm not sure if I'd like cold fish. I don't know, but I would try everything that they put in front of me. Yeah, thumbs up or appreciate. Yeah, they've seen aspic molds before. Hell, I'd try everything. We got young lobs. Well, they're not young lobbers. I know plenty about the Europe. Magda's a trip, huh? Meat filled potato dumplings are a Polish dish, not German. Oh, here these two. Oh, you guys are great. Magda, we're gonna be making pecan rolls tonight. How about that? I might break out my 1932. They probably didn't even have them at General Foods at that time. Is set up to stay in. Yeah, just keep your babble going. best from all people and peace for all. Hey, good night. Thanks for all for coming in. Appreciate you. Best to all the folks in Poland. Have a good, very late night over there, or very early morning, depending on how you cut the melon. I just have to wait a bit of time. Yeah, tap that like button. I got to wait a little bit of time until this dough rises. You don't want to have unfermented dough that's very raw flavored. Do you think Vance will be safe when he meets with his with the Iranians? Yeah, I believe he will. I don't think the Iranians are uncivilized people. They're very proud of their culture. They're very proud of their heritage. They just went down a deep rabbit hole with their, the way the country's been run. But, there are demonstrations that are occurring in cities in Iran. It's coming. The head of the finance for the country, the finance minister, resigned because the currency's just collapsed into zero. And when you start giving people a worthless currency to spend, all of a sudden shops don't want to sell anything anymore. All of a sudden commerce just comes to a dead halt. I was more worried about Israel attacking in the northern Iranian meetings. I wasn't worried about them so much. I've been much more concerned about them and what they're doing in Lebanon. They thought that Hezbollah was just gonna, to get that lightning strike and it would be over. No, they just melted. They just go further north in Lebanon. That's all. They just melt into the woodwork. Things are to blackmail Trump like you did. I don't know. See, you can get the Young Turks. I don't like Anna Kasparian. I don't like them. She's too arrogant. She's not balanced enough. She went on a rant about some woman was going to attack her with her dog on the streets in New York and blah, blah, blah. It's just like, it's like when Wall Street Journal's unnamed sources in the Pentagon say haven't destroyed a lot of missile launchers. Yeah, well, give me a source that is willing to put a name to that, then I'll believe you. They're okay. I watch them. Like I said, Magda, I watch everybody. Danny Haifong, Colonel Daniel Davis. I watch, I can't always say I like what I hear, but at least I put myself out there and listen to it. I listen to Tucker Carlson. I listen to a lot of them. How you doing? What's going on, Ned? Yeah, let's be kind. No name calling now. We pride ourselves in people getting along good in here. And we're all brothers and sisters. But they're far down the road. There's a lot of shit going on. There's a lot of, Ben Shapiro and Alistair Crook and all these people. How you doing, Scottish? What's going on? What's going on, Ken? So it's, we're very split now. We're very divided about things. The one thing I know for certain is the popularity and the support of Israel has collapsed amongst mainline people to a great extent now. Any goodwill that they had is they've really pushed that to the limit. How you doing tonight, Scottish? I don't know if any of you read, the Tel Aviv newspapers, Haaretz and other ones. There were massive protests on the streets in cities in Israel. Yeah, not naming sources, TSR, absolutely positively. This unnamed sources bullshit is the worst plague that, how many times has the Wall Street Journal, New York Times, and other papers been called out with just straight lies? Just they don't report the news anymore. They're advocates for positions now. It's like unnamed sources within the Pentagon said that, the rockets launchers aren't disabled and the missiles haven't been wiped out. And it's like, who said that? It's unnamed sources. It's just like bullshit. I don't even take it seriously when I hear that. We're not name. They say, well, Deep Throat lived right here in Santa Rosa. I don't care whether they could name it or not. We're a far cry from journalism in the era of the 1970s. We're in advocacy journalism now. Yeah, Washington Post, New York Times, exactly. They just want to, just like that Ann, the woman who had the Iowa polling that just thought she would shape the election by putting out some fraudulent poll. Her head was on the moon when that came out, and it was just she was trying to shape the election like it was some kind of grassroots movement. Swalwell can't get elected here, Doctor. The women, as soon as the women in California hear, this is it, man. This is like the Me Too place. It's like as soon as they hear that, you're done, dude. He might as well just drop out of the race. Trump is, I know before he was elected, he talked about targeting in a lot of ways. Trump is like the old. Therefore, I've decided at midnight to resign the presidency of the United States. Both Pat and I, as your first lady and your president, respectively, have long enjoyed our service to the American people. It is now our hope that under the guidance of Vice President Gerald R. Ford, that America may be healed. And that's the way it is. This is not how he could have it with a China knife. I don't know. You seen some of these girls look pretty foxy, man. Something about that Oriental, a little bit of a walk on the wild side. But he lost a significant amount of women's votes, and then this Katie Porter so shrill that oh man, I don't know. Where's our boy Carey class? He's at cucumbers. They all do it, of course. Of course. The Spy Who Loved Me. Do do ding 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 do 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 do. Please hit that thumbs up button. It's very appreciated. Just try to stay on an even keel and it's all good. It's all good. But anyway, the finance minister of Iran resigned because it's just there's no, the currency is worthless right now. And when the currency becomes worthless, then you start to have the man on the street, the woman on the street says, "Oh hell no, I'm coming out here with just pieces of monopoly money, and oh shit no." Let's see what's going on, Trog. Wasn't there? Well, yeah, there was calling. I blew the whistle around the elites involved in dirty games with women and men. It's equal opportunity stuff. It's the Epstein class. She reminds me of that Casey. You can imagine she's so savage off camera when they've caught her on a hot microphone. You can imagine, man. It's just, California, we got to pull away from this lunacy. Just this lunacy. We got this high-speed rail, which is a $100 billion boondoggle out there, and it's like it doesn't even connect to the cities. How you doing, Just John? Nice to see you. I want to interfere with him, and my mother was ultimately against it. That's good, Ned. Yeah, just I don't understand that. And there's people that will stand up and defend that as if it's a good thing. Shit, it doesn't even connect the two cities. Just push that through for the union, for the construction jobs. And now the rich people are leaving the area, leaving the state. People are going to flee. And what was it? The mayor of Seattle wanted to pass a law that you can't leave. She wants to hold you hostage in the state. Boondoggles about as archaic as the loggerhead. No, boondoggles is still a very appropriate term, like gerrymandering. Boondoggles came about during the Roosevelt administration for the make work programs. They had people making little puppets and stuff, and they were called boondoggles that they would make. And somebody said, "Man, this is like what the hell are we doing, man? Boondoggles." Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Robbie. Yeah, it's a time of year. There's illness abounding around for sure. Illness abounding. Leaving the area, stay within the gated area. They are just those buzzwords. Lay people know what a boondoggle is, Magda. It's a colossal waste of public funding, is what it is. I was just giving you the origins of the term. Boondoggle was born in Roosevelt's make work program. The WPA, they were making boondoggles, little dolls. How you doing, Desmond? The congressman went in and he was like, "What the fuck are these people doing? They're making, these are like, these are called boondoggles." Windy day, yeah. Hey, Angus Kisses. Good seeing you. Everything's going pretty good. Bully. Sorry, the chat's moving too fast. What do you think about the Iran war on the stock market? I would be very cautious because there's some shit going on now with AI that's when the Treasury Secretary has to call in, all the banking has, because Anthropic comes out with a mythos or whatever the name of the thing is. It's like, this is big trouble. This stuff is, this AI is way out over its ski tips right now. So A lot of companies are staring down the barrel at death right now and don't even know it. Deer in the headlights. I'd be damn careful. You'll have people, if things end, people will think it's all well with the world, but the undercurrent of AI is a much bigger beast in Iran and the war. What's going on, David? Yeah, it's your friend until you wake up and your bank account is empty, because it sat there and within four milliseconds it figured out the password by running through 600 billion iterations. Hey, how you doing, Fields? I really don't admit those today. Freaked me out a bit. It freaked out the government. It's like, you're not going to contain this shit. You already have Anthropic is at odds with the Pentagon. There'll be some disgruntled person within Anthropic that'll be, this isn't fair what this administration did to us. We're blacklisted from the Department of Defense. I'm going to punish them. It'll be like the Rosenbergs again. I'm just going to give this code. I'm going to just leak this out. Bank of under my the bank. This is why silver and gold are so have maintained. We're not that far off the highs in especially gold. There's people that are very, very worried about the state of currencies in the world. The petrodollar. You're going to be running deficits. You're probably looking. They didn't put any of the defense spending into the March report. You're going to see. You're going to be running a $3 trillion deficit here, which is going to stagger people here. I don't know what's for supper, but I'm making some pecan rolls tonight. I've got some dough I put up tonight, so. I continue to like agriculture. I think the disruptions have been severe in the agricultural world. What's going on, Joni? I can tell inflation's ticking up again. I can look in the store. I was in the Costco. I could tell. They hate the fact that they have to keep kicking out those chickens for $4.99. They hate that. The guys back there with greasy hands trying to put those things into bags and seal them up. And it's like, geez, why can't they ever get rid of these damn chickens? I watched the 35 pack of Coke Zero go from $17.95 to $20.95 in what, 6 months, 5 months? What do you think about boss Bruce Springsteen? Everybody's entitled to an opinion, Ned. I got nothing about I got nothing negative to say. I mean, he just puts his opinion out. You got Kid Rock on one side and you got the boss on the other. Roosevelt made a speech about being safe in a bank, not on the, yeah, because in February, you got to remember, Magda, when we elect a president now, the election's held the first Tuesday in November, and then the first, in January, early January, he's sworn in. Do you know that during up until, I don't know when it was changed, you would be elected president in November and you wouldn't take office until March. And during that period where Roosevelt was elected in November until he took office in March, the banks started failing in an accelerating manner in America. People were worried about what Roosevelt was going to do. So a lot of people ran to the bank to pull their money out. They were fearful of inflation or what he's going to mess around with the currency or something like that. And they took their, they were grabbing all the gold out that they could, taking their $20 bills and getting the gold pieces out. the St. Gaudens $20 and the Liberty Gold heads. And this, of course, one run begets another run. I told you the story of my grandmother walking up the street from, lunch break at work or whatever. Some guy running down and say, "Hey, May, you better get up to there's a run on the bank, Walbrook Savings Bank." And the guy said, "Don't even bother going up. It's closed now," and stuff. I mean, they were just he had to have a way to get confidence back in the system, and that was the first fireside chat. He had to carefully explain to people how banking actually works. And then they passed the April 4th of 1933, they passed the Gold Confiscation Act. If you had gold, you had to turn it into the banks. That was it, or under threat of prosecution. I've showed you before the poster that they put up in the post offices and banks. Do you think the failure of the bank? No, I don't think it's Smoot-Hawley. I think the failure of the bank started in the agricultural West. Overproduction of World War I of food and things, and ramping up of mass production of automobiles. We just overproduce relative to our ability to consume. It's what I think. The tariffs, we weren't that big of a trading nation at that time, but it had an impact. I have missed Magda. Well, I'm always glad to see Magda in here. She adds an air of, she has an intellectual gravitas to her when she comes in. But that tells you, when they got to confiscate your gold, it tells you what you better have. How you doing, Naomi? I just got done eating dinner. We had taco salads. So you tell me why gold soared from $800 to $5,400 an ounce. It's just the first leg up on the future. That's all that is. It's in 1964. I told you. I remember my father coming home with a quarter. It was copper and nickel. And I said, "Let me get this." Somebody said to him, "Let me see if I get this right. We're going to put copper nickel in now. We're going to in place of silver now. We're going to start producing copper and nickel coins." Gresham's law took over that the shitty currency chases the good one out of the market. People started saving and pulling silver out. What's going on, Judy? You have to remember, at that time, you could buy stocks on 10% margin. And you had bucket shops were just betting parlors that weren't even connected really to the stock exchange, but they would post prices and you could come in and put your little bets up and down. I mean, it was highly speculative. And a lot of, not that many people were really on margin, but the ones that were devastated on. And when a market wipes out hundreds of, billions of dollars of purchasing power in 1 month, the resulting shock waves in the economy are horrific. And then by 1932, the market lost 90% of it was down 90% from its peak. And you can imagine. I told you, I asked my grandfather, why weren't you buying all these great bargains? AT&T at 12 and General Electric at 14 and U.S. Steel at 24. He's like, nobody had any money, don't you? It's like we're thinking about where the next meal is coming from. Stocks. Stocks. That's it. Yeah, so I'm still of the very firm opinion that we're going to have a tremendous hole blown in wealth in the coming years here. I don't know exactly when it's going to be. But we built so much fluff up with software and the value, we don't really produce anything anymore. These people said after a year of Trump that the manufacturing jobs would come back. We've lost 77,000 manufacturing jobs in a year. The only thing we're building is these damn data centers. Now all these people like Zuckerberg and Larry Ellison, they're so spooked right now, worried about how they're going to make a return on their AI investments. Yeah, well, you can't ask people to pay for it when you're giving it away for free. The towers were terrible. I don't think they had that much of an impact here. I think the companies absorbed a lot of the hit of the tariffs. Hoover made his legacy is still one of the most. Well, he's only hated because people's money got hurt. But did he create the Depression? No. But did he inherit the conditions that led to it? Yes. Hoover did no differently than any other president thought. In a free market system, the body has to heal itself. You need to have the dead wood cleared out. People have to lose money, and you get back to a solid base of building. But it was much worse than anybody had ever seen before. So he couldn't pivot on his way of doing things. Yeah, but the tariffs, we weren't that big of a trading economy, Magda. The United States was a self-contained. We didn't need to depend on world trade. We had a big enough domestic market, 100 million people to be able to internally grow. It wasn't until post-World War II that America really flooded the world with American products. I mean, there weren't foreign automobiles in America in that era. We still had people working in sweatshops in New York City and producing clothing. Did it help? No, it didn't help. It hurt. But that was instituted before Hoover came into office. Senators Hawley and Congressman Smoot, or Congressman Smoot and Senator Hawley. I don't remember. Now it's very hard to have a run on the bank. The government will just print money and throw it into your bank. So they could have the whole deposit base lined up and everybody would get their money. Well, now what do we do? I guess we'll put it back in the bank. Now you have private credit that is the new horror show, not so much the big banks. The Blue Owls, the Blackstones. I mean, look at it this way, Magda. Blackstone advanced $500 million to build the Fontainebleau hotel casino in Las Vegas. They don't have a ghost of a chance of making money. And they're just dead men walking. They don't even, there's no way. They refuse to mark that to market and just book the loss. Caesars can't cope with their debt load. The Fertitti brothers are playing them like fools. You had the Downtown Grand is filed for bankruptcy. It's hard to make a dollar now. It's really hard. Under Smoot Ollie did raise the price to make them unaffordable. We just didn't import that. We didn't import that much stuff. You know, what did we import? World trade just wasn't as big a thing to America as it was, say, England. I think it was a contributing influence, but was it, was it the principal reason? No. You had massive amounts of over speculation, and people got caught with their pants down. This shit would clear up. It's very interesting. It makes for lively discussion. There's still people that there's still argument about. You look at John Kenneth Galbraith wrote the definitive book on the 1929 crash. Former Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke wrote his PhD piece on the crash and the depression. It's always been a subject of debate. If Rosie was here with me, I think I'm making nacho salads. I think that you make good food down there. I'm getting ready to make pecan rolls tonight. About another 20 minutes or so, I'm going to take off for the Rancho and get back. And I got some dough rising right now. I put that up about 1 o'clock today while I finished my taxes. That's always a horrendous 2-day affair. Thank you, President Trump, for the big, beautiful bill. The article I read about explains that exports decreased, especially out. So I was the Western banks were really hit hard. They had overexpanded. The farmers had overexpanded radically during the period of the First World War. And it led to tremendous overproduction of commodities, and wheat and corn and all the farm staples were just going down years before the 1929 crash. And the banks had lent a shitload of money on that, on the prospect of stable agricultural prices. It didn't happen, and banks just went tits up everywhere. And that had a cratering effect because those small banks would also keep their deposits in the bigger bank. If you remember It's a Wonderful Life, you had Old Man Potter had his bank, and then the Bailey brothers had the savings and loan, the building and loan, and the building and loan would keep its money in the big bank. When the big bank started failing, it had when a little rural bank started failing, it had a knock-on effect to the bigger banks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the pecans, babe. We're probably going to toast them up a little bit to give maximum flavor profile. You never want to use pecans out of the bag. World Cup, well, actually, are you interested? You know, Ned, sadly, I'm not, I guess. They've been trying to push soccer in America since I was 10 years old, and it's just, there's not enough, you know, you need to have offense to keep people, you can't leave a stadium with a 0-0 tie. So, no, I've never really gotten into soccer before. Now, the rest of the world is very interested in Also, interest rates were too low, like we've had here. And when the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates, the bankers, Charles Mitchell, who had National Bank of New York or something, thwarted the Fed, and it pissed the Fed off. He said they're raising interest rates. They're causing this pre-collapse. They've had a few warning little mini drops from the 1928 onward. And Charles Mitchell, when they had a big one, and they were worried that the market was just not going to turn, he said, I'm going to lend all the money that you guys want. Come to our bank. And boy, did that piss the Fed off. And when they finally reached the 6% level, the market just cratered. The same thing that we're going to be facing here if interest rates continue to rise. And when you look at the amount of funding that the United States need, and you look the way the rest of the world is kind of pissed off right now, and if shit goes really bad in these Gulf nations, they're going to have to sell a lot of their treasure, their $1 trillion of treasuries, to raise money to rebuild. Even now, Saudi Arabia is, you don't even get the news. Everything's so carefully shielded over there, the realities of the hits they've taken. FDR was the savior of the world. He's one of my biggest. Look, I liked FDR very much. I went to Hyde Park. I liked his leadership. His policies in the short term were good because people had something to eat. A lot of people had work. But the long-term consequences of his program played out with the culmination of the Great Society. Instead of government not being involved in anything, they're involved in everything. Now everybody can turn to the government and say it's your fault. You couldn't do that up until the early 1930s. People never turned to government. So he unleashed a dangerous precedent of government involved in economic activity, which reached a zenith with the Great Society under Johnson. With all the, 1932, there were no food stamps. There was no aid to families with dependent children. There was no unemployment insurance, no pensions of any kind, no agricultural subsidies. It was truly a free market. Truly a free market. That was lost. Now people expect government. They blame government for everything. Don't want to pay your student loans? Don't pay them. Ask the government to take the hit. You contracted a legal obligation to borrow and pay back money. Who cares? Screw them. We'll just throw that on the government debt pile. Throw it on the debt pile with everything else. Get a good spanking. Get a good dose. So we morphed into one of the premier communist countries in the world right now. The government's involved in everything. What your kids can learn, what your parents are allowed to do and not allowed to do. They've taken over everything. They have their hands in everything. Oh, your wish will come true, Magda, in spades. You will, everything you ever hope for will come to pass, because when you start, people start to lose wealth, they definitely turn vicious. And they grab for the populism that's hang the rich and eat the rich and blah, blah, blah. Start grabbing the pitchforks and the tar torches, baby. It's the French Revolution Redux. The interest is staggering right now. It's more than defense. It's more than human services. And we're going to now throw another $1.4 trillion of borrowing on top of that. I'm sorry. We're not productive enough to support that. We are not productive enough to carry that. That's going to be a problema grande, and the Treasury Secretary knows it. Scott, I want you to raise this money. It's going to be hard, Mr. President. I know, that's why I got you, Scott. You're the chief of hard things to do. Figure it out. No wonder shit costs so much money. They keep debasing your currency every month. On the slow boat to China, I've seen it all. I do it all for you. We always wait till later now to feed the cats, so we don't end up with this double feeding. All right, the Rancho's all clean and spanking. Got a good wash today. Got a good wash today. And of course, Ronnie, my moderators, will tell you these opinions are just mine. It's a hell of a lot of you guys are a hell of a lot smarter than I am, so any opinions you have are just as valid as mine. Probably more so. We're back on the Rancho. Man, I didn't even take a selfie sticking out with me today. Looks like I got some joy juice on my pants here or something. I don't know what the hell that is. I must have gotten some dough on it. Dough boy! Look at the lakes. Did my lawn good. Ooh, it's chilly. I'm looking forward to putting that stove on tonight. It's very clear. We'll be partying tonight. Oh, man, my beautiful printer. My beautiful big Epson was flawless today. So nice. So nice. That's the big beautiful bill right there. Workforce Pro. WF, what the F? 4820. Okay, so Blackbird's here. Let me get him his mail. Ooh. Put this in here. Make sure it looks like that dough rose nicely. Oh boy. Like the dough rose nicely. Oh. Hey Blackburn, you got some mail. That's my guess. All right. But your refund will be on the way.
Where does it say? I don't
Oh, he
check.
couldn't put the mail in because mine was parked. Same old shit out there. No, he just always, if there's a car parked, he just skips delivering mail. Shit. All right, it's very clear. Our love is here Tuesday. We got cinnamon, we got pecans, flour, sugar, white boy sugar, and brown boy sugar here. All right, we got our dough that is already risen here. It's very clear. Our love is here.
Do you think you can heat this food up for me?
Yeah, we're. Let me throw it in the microwave. Stand by. Do, 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 do. All right, I got a whiz. Bad. Bad. Oh, I love my Epson printer. I had to kick the HP out. Get warm. Cats are happy. Yeah, we got a pretty long way to go tonight. So let's warm up this food here. We're gonna give another 30 seconds. All right. I think we're gonna use this. I wish I had a little bit of a deeper one here. I want to see if I don't have a shit, I don't want a lot of pans around. You know what I could do? I could tweak this recipe. I just got a brilliant idea. I just got a hell of a brilliant idea. All right, let me give him this food. Give this another 30 seconds. I'm gonna make these things in cupcake holders. How do you like me now? See if that's gonna be possible. Might not be possible with the swirls. Yeah, they'd probably be weird looking. I don't know. They'd probably be too weird looking. Okay. Oh, there we go. Oh. Blackbird, this should be nice and warm. Do you like hold on a minute. Yeah, you're welcome. All right, let's get our oven on just to get a little warmth in here. Oh. See, I don't know where, let me see, where the hell, what the hell is going on? That's too small. I got these small ones. I don't like a lot of kitchen gear. All right, we're gonna put this on 350. 350. We're gonna let that get good and warm. We can enjoy the heat here. Cause it is cold. Ooh. Your pizza's ready. Oh, Roosevelt, you're so cute. I know. We have a choice. We could use the roasting pan, which is another possibility, which is another distinct possibility. But you want to flip these over, that's the problem. If you don't flip them over, full stack. I don't have full stack. I like to minimize. I don't like to have a lot of gear around. So let's make some room, because I got a very small kitchen. I have a lot of land, but I have a very small house here. All right, but I do have a beautiful stove. That Fisher Paykel, baby. One thing I refuse to compromise on. What's that? Okay, you've seen the dough. That's going to be really good. So we have to have, we're going to get rid of this tray. It's going to take me a minute to get prepared here. I like to have a lot of room to operate. We're going to need the whisk. I'm glad to have everybody. Please hit the thumbs up button as we get into gear here. I am using recipe because I have not made these before. One of the things I noticed is that it just depends how firm this dough is, whether we're going to use a knife. It better be damn sharp. I usually end up using a piece of dental floss if I'm going to cut a rolled product. It just makes a lot of sense. Let's get this the hell out of here. Okay, we got some counter space to work with. Yay. All right, we got counter space to work with. Yeah, I'm gonna have a drink in a little bit. I just want to get underway here, because these are gonna have to sit a while before we... I should have taken the knife down to have sharpened when I was down at the boss's. We're gonna put our big board here. Just like so. And what we're going to do now is, I've got the dough that I already made today, and that was using 1.5 cups of warm milk, 2 1/4 teaspoons of dry yeast, ½ teaspoon of white sugar to get the yeast activated. Once everything was activated, then I put 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour, a little bit of pinch of salt, 1/4 cup of white sugar, and 4 tablespoons of softened butter in there. Okay? All right. When the chicken. I need to get a butter out. I'm going to get some extra almonds. All right, here we go. I think it's kind of essential we can kind of pound these. These I like to have whole. Some of my pecans I'm keeping whole. And some I'm going to bust up to go in the middle of the swirl. Okay. But the first thing I want to do with the swirly ones is I want to toast them a little bit. Okay, so that they're not, these bits aren't all raw. We're going to get our rolling pin. We're going to let the air out of this bag. And we're going to have nice bits. This is a very heavy bag here. And that's all I did, was get them busted up. That's it. That's it. Yeah, we're just starting out here tonight to get these made. I promised you guys. So let's get a saucepan. We're going to make our... If we make it too early, it's going to be a problem. So let's see. We're going to make our sauce topping. Roll the dough into a 10 by 20 inch rag. Spread the butter, melted butter, followed by the brown sugar, white sugar. So we need to melt our butter. Let's see, how much butter we need for this. 4 tablespoons, a half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of white sugar. So we're going to mix that together. We're going to get our brown sugar, our white sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. Be damn careful. Be very careful with cinnamon. It's a great destroyer of recipes. I'm going to use a whole, let's see, it's filling, let's see, and then we'll be back. This thing uses a shitload of butter, 8 tablespoons of butter. So we just need enough now to melt this a bit. We're going to spread this on when we roll out this dough, we're going to spread this on so the sugar stick to it in this cinnamon. So let's get our bowl, and we're going to use half a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar, I just brought some fresh, and I love to keep it in these containers here. If you prefer, I can sit the camera here, you can look down, or if that's okay there. I don't know. If it is or isn't, you might enjoy the view over here more. Put that up there. Hi. Deja vu, you don't have to WTF. We're making pecan rolls here. All right. Let's get our half cup measure here. We're going to get half a cup of brown sugar. You want that packed. Brown sugar is just molasses with regular sugar. That's good. Put that on the side. Then we're going to use a half a cup of white sugar. Light on here. Half a cup of white sugar. I want to toast up these that I'm going to be sprinkling in. So I'm going to use a little bit of olive oil here because it's a high temperature. I'm going to use canola oil, vegetable oil. It's a little bit higher temperature. Now I'm going to roast up the pecans that are going to go on top of the dough and be rolled in. And I'm going to salt them and sugar them a little bit too. I'm going to sprinkle some salt in. That salt and sweetness is such a good combo. I'm going to just add a tad of sugar to hit them up. I'm doing this on the fly myself. This isn't part of the recipe. Let's get out our spoon. And this is going to add such a tremendous amount of flavor to these as opposed to just using a shelled pecan. This just adds significant amounts flavor, but you got to keep stirring because it's very easy to burn these bad boys. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We should be well over 100 now. Man, that tastes good. Oh, Roosevelt, you are so fine. These will start to pick up a little bit of color on them. Right, all we're doing is taking those busted pecan bits. And we're just toasting them a little bit. All right. Oh, when you can smell it, they're done. That's it. Keep stirring it though. They will burn. That's it. They are ready to go. Now we're going to mix this. We're going to mix this together, our brown sugar and our white sugar. We're going to put a little bit of cinnamon in here. Don't go nuts. You have to have balanced flavors here. Look at the little bit that I'm going to put in. Sugar, cinnamon's one of those things that can just overpower. You want to make sure people can taste the pecans too. Get this all worked down. You don't want any lumps in this. You don't want any lumps in this. Take your time. You can put it in a food processor if you want, but I like to do stuff by hand. I think it's more fun to do things by hand. That's looking good right there. All those bits. All right, we're gonna sit that on the side. We'll sit our butter on this side here. We're going to flour up. We're going to flour up this board right here, and we're going to begin to get this dough out and get this dough rolled out. Let's get our, where the hell did our flour go? It's over here. These are reserve pecans that I'm saving. They're going to go on the bottom of the pan with butter. And then when you flip it over at the end, the pecans will be on the top. Make sure your hands are clean. No, this is not my dinner. Might end up being, I don't know. It wasn't planning on it. So we want to roll this out 10 inches by like about, what did they say, 10 by 20 inch rectangle. We're going to take our dough that we started today, punch it down. Turn that out like so. Keep everything well floured. And I'm just pre-shaping this a little bit before we roll it into a rough rectangular shape. Make sure to use plenty of flour. That's a pretty good sort of rectangular shape right there. Right. Next thing we want to do is we want to take our rolling pin roll that out to like 20 inches. See how good that turned out? Look at that. Just like so. I mean, you can't beat that. How good is that? Just like so. Can't really square it up too much. Right there it is. Now the trick is we want to melt the butter and brush the butter on, because this will help the cinnamon and the sugar stick instead of coming slobbering out. So we're going to melt this butter. We're going to use a cup here. We're not going to totally melt it. We're just going to soften it so we can spread it. So it's spreadable. That dough really worked well. Really worked well. The more square you can make this, the better. We want to use our offset spatula here. I don't think you should take it up to the edge, because you need to seal this. What I am getting is even coverage here. Let that cool a little bit and set in place. All right. We're going to let that cool a minute. Now we're going to get our filling. If your hands are clean, there's no problem. Put that in. Like so. All right. Pretty good. Now we want to take our pecans that we salted. Man. And we want to spread them just like so. So nobody feels cheated. A lot of bakeries just cheat you on quantity. They'll load up with cinnamon and sugars, but they'll go cheap on the other stuff. Get all that salt and sugar out of there. Now here's where other people make a mistake, I think. They don't tell you to do this, but I think you should take a piece of wax paper and you should lay it right over top of this. And I think you should lightly take your rolling pin and try to work those pecan bits into the dough with the sugar. Just like that. That is a little bit of a trick. And they are worked in. Yeah, a lot of times stuff comes out because we have to roll this thing, and that's the really difficult part of the process, is the rolling. All right, we want to make sure we have an edge here that's going to seal. Now, according to what they say, it's cut into, roll up tightly, you can cut 12 pieces or whatever. All right, and we're going to begin to start rolling this up. This is where this is where bakeries have it all over amateurs. Because I would never be able to do the job that they do. But I'll tell you, you've had a lot of things when bakers bake them and all the stuff falls out of it. If you press it in, it's got a better chance. Now we get to this end and we want to sort of pinch it a little bit. We want to seal that there. Just like so. And you want to try to make sure that this is uniform as far as it goes. Pinch the ends of it too, just like you're making a baguette, which I've never mastered in my life. Then I'm going to come underneath. Let me show you the technique on this. I'm going to come underneath here make sure to seal up everything good. Now, I'm going to recommend, I don't really have a ruler, but I'm going to recommend that you get a piece of dental floss. People say, hell, Rosa, you used to wear dental floss. I know. All right. We're going to take this. We're going to try to eyeball half. You want to pull that through. Half again. Half again. Okay. We could try a knife to see how she does. You probably want to oil the knife a little bit. We're trying to sort of pull the knife through here. But it's very, very difficult. And at the same time, This at least gives them a start here. All right, now we want to take our pan here, and we'll want to melt 8 ounces of butter in it. Our pan for this. We got to do this quickly because these are rising. We're going to melt this butter. This is our base here. This is what's going to be on the bottom. Okay? For this, we want to use 1 cup of brown sugar. Talking about a little bit of heavy cream. I think we can use a little bit of milk. That 1/4 cup. This is going to soak into everything. If we're going to add our pecans here. There we go. We're going to mix this up really well. We want to put a little bit of salt in here too. Salt and caramel goes together really, really well. We're melting that blob of butter there. All right. No, I'm not going to freeze any. I'll freeze them afterward. Oh, that's going to be so damn good. Shoot. We have to be careful lifting these up. If you chop up your butter, it goes a little quicker. Please hit that thumbs up if you haven't done so. It is appreciated. I want to make sure this thickens up good too. So I'm going to add a little more. I'm going to add some white sugar in there, about 2 tablespoons. I want this to really be able to penetrate but stick. That's about it. We're going to pour this out right here. Spread that out really well. As best you can. All over. Make sure you get all that goodness out of there. Then we're going to try to use we're going to take these we're going to pinch them tight right there. And we're just loading these babies And, oh, they're going to be good. Don't hesitate to put them side by side. Pinch them off a little bit if it seems like it's going to be a little loose. Just pinch them off a little bit. Separate them a little bit. I'm just filling it up right here. And that's going to absorb all of that goodness there. And I'll get some of the pecans and I'll go back and put them on top of these. Make sure these are sealed as close, as tight as you can get them. Okay, and I'll put this guy at the end right here. Now I'm just going to take my spoon and I'm going to go between. I'm going to lift out these pecans and just put them on top. As many as you can. It doesn't have to be perfect. You can pour the sauce on the end after it's done baking too. All right, that's it. We're going to let them absorb. Let's see what we got here. Bake for 25. Yeah, we're going to let these rise a little bit here. Okay, these are going to fill up the pan. You'll see me also pinching together if I see any spots that look a little bit loose. That's pretty good. Just grabbing, rescuing some of the pecans and just putting them right on top. That's a hell of a dessert, ladies and gentlemen. That is what you call a dessert. So I'm going to finish my beer because they're already pretty puffy. In other words, this dough is ready to go. This dough is telling me it is action jackson, man. It is telling me it's ready to go. But as they sit there, they're also absorbing a lot of the flavor underneath down there, so that's good. I got most of the pecans set. These are ooey gooey. Should be pretty doggone good. Into the oven they go, and we'll keep an eye on them. 25 to 30 minutes. Ronnie, I don't have a timer anymore. I have no idea where my damn timer went. So we need about 5, what do we need? About 5 after 8 here. And that's what we're looking at. About 5 after 8. These are going to be ooey gooey, delightful. Yeah, about 5 after the hour. I have the convection, I have the fan turned on to spread that heat evenly. All right, I'm just going to wash a couple things off here. In a pro shop, they would probably refrigerate that dough before they roll it out to get it firm. And it's not going to affect the final outcome. I can already smell that wonderful flavor there kicking out. What a flavor, man. Come to where the flavor is. Come to Marlboro country. Dun 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 do 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 That's going to fill up that whole pan there. Going to fill up that whole thing. I like to have everything cleaned up when it comes out of the oven. We'll take a peek in a few minutes. You never want to open the oven door though until it's been at least 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Doughs are very, very finicky. This is a very puffy dough too. Oh yeah. You big beautiful bastards. Perfect. Perfecto. You'll find an offset spatula is a really good investment to make. Really good investment. Great for icing cakes. It's also good for spreading stuff too. We got everything all cleaned up, and then when it comes out, it's like, woo! You're done, baby. And we can just let them cool on the stove all night long. They're going to be perfection. I already shattered one bowl last month. Sadly, this beautiful 3-bowl set I got from the thrift shop. Because I'm too rough finger. Too rough finger. Oh yeah. Oh. Roosevelt, you were so fine. You were the Renaissance man. Yes, you are. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. Ooh, Roosevelt, you are so fine. You are cooking in style tonight. I know. I know. Melanie's like, oh, and self-confident too. Oh, not hurting. Oh, that was so funny. Roosevelt, you are so fine. You are so fine. Looking good. We get our stove back together. We're enjoying a beer. And Ronnie, you wouldn't believe it, we're basically cleaned up. Let me put the dental floss away. So I can use it on here. Blackbird didn't stay long tonight. It's cold out. All right, here we go. Get our rack out here. Put that right there. Put another nickel in the Nickelodeon. All I want is music, music. Something to that effect, yes. Melody's like, Roosevelt, you're so fine. He's like, I like a guy that's got confidence. I like a guy that's got confidence, baby. Let's put our brown sugar away. Because of you, there's a song in my heart. Because of you, la-da-dee-da-da-doo. Because of you, there's a song in my heart. I can smell that cooking. Oh man, just a little. We're gonna need the board to turn these out. You know that. We're gonna need the board. We're gonna coat that with parchment paper. We had it all just like Bogey and Bacall, starring in our own late, late show. I'm the king of dough. That's it. Roosevelt, you are so fine. So fine. They're looking really good in there, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking really good in there. They're looking happy. They're looking plump. That dough is super soft, super delicious. We'll give you a little bit of a peek here. Getting on to do it. Let's turn that around. I'm going to do a YouTube short, Ronnie. Bear with me. You guys ready? Are you ready? Look at that. Oh, yeah. Roosevelt. I'm going to put a pan underneath just in case there's some goo comes out. I don't want goo getting on the bottom. Catch any goo that might go over the side. Man, don't they look good? Grab Grandma said what I can do. I don't know, D-U-E or D-O. You got to get it straight, dude. Alright, let's put that on. Judy, keep an eye on that bird. Let's plug that back in. Alright, there we go. We have to worry when people start talking about kids and grandkids. It's like a red alert here. It's very clear. Our love. Didn't those things look beautiful when they were all puffed up, all joined together like a happy family? Didn't they look good? Didn't they look good? I couldn't believe how good they looked. I could not believe it. How good they looked. They're nice and soft on the inside. Yeah, didn't they look good? They look amazing. We can't flip these out until they're set there. We can't do it quickly. So they have to sit there and congeal in the pan. And then we'll turn them out, and that's when we could have some problems. You never know. You never know. But it is a thin pan, so that should help it a bit. There. That should help it a bit. That's good. Let's get a little bit of H2O. I think I might have one shot of I might have a shot of cognac with you guys tonight, since we're still in the octave of Easter. It's the last day. You're still in the octave of Easter. VSOP. Thank you, Ron. Well, I don't know if they're better in a bakery, because they probably would have refrigerated that log to keep that tight and then slice that. But they need to expand to be next to their neighbors. And that's exactly what we got here. We have these babies have beautifully expanded. So it helps keep that filling tight in there. In other words, if they weren't tight enough, then the filling might fall out the bottoms. But because they're tight, it keeps that all locked in. So that's a big difference. Rosemary Lopez, how are you? See, I feel like I hardly ever see you anymore. It's an honor to see you here tonight. Thank you, Blackbird, for introducing me to cognac. We don't like the same cognac, but we do like cognac. How you doing, MB? How are you, honey? You're in for baking tonight. Cheers, everybody. I had some people write me, oh, you never, just pound your liquor down. No, this is expensive shit, man. That's for sipping and enjoying. Yeah, Rosemary, we're happy to see you. I hope you had a good Easter, hon. I missed you. I think we made 12 out of this, which is fine. And this is the way they kind of look at the end with all the goo on the bottom of them. That's good. We should have probably worked with a colder dough. But they just look absolutely perfect. They just look amazing. They look absolutely amazing. So we got about, what do we got, about 7-8 more minutes. We want to make sure that they're brown. We might butter brush them and put them in for a finish. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, I haven't seen Rosemary in a while. It seems like I missed the whole Easter season with her. And yeah, that's to my detriment. Let's get that thumbs up button going, guys. I'm going to have a little bit of noodles here. Thank goodness for ramen noodles in a cup. Thank goodness. Trick is, you got to let these babies set in that pan for a while. You can't just turn that over immediately, or everything will go everywhere, and that'll be it. Everything has to congeal. I guess I'm going to go ahead and try to get my trip figured out for the end of the month. I'd like to finish all the painting I can do down there and move on to other projects. They should be knocking down some of the buildings. Today I bought a baguette and one cinnamon roll for $13.50. It's crazy. The baguette shouldn't be more than $2 or $3. I want to try this. Hey Elizabeth, I want to try that Redbird Bakery. And when these are served up for breakfast, you put a little bit of butter on the top of these babies and you have something amazing. They're just about there. A couple more minutes. We flip them over, then you get the beauty side on it. But they got to be really cool before like 15-20 minutes before you flip them out. Or else it just goes all over the place and just destroys everything. This is not a particularly hard recipe. I'll probably do one more little short once I pull them out so people can see them. Set this aside temporarily. We'll get our cooling rack here. Yeah, it seems like I haven't seen Rosemary Lopez in forever. Big risk is these are underdone. This kitchen smells amazing. Notice I didn't overdo it with the cinnamon. I kept it light. Let the brown sugar and the regular sugar carry the day. We should probably turn these out on a baking sheet so that in case there's any goo. In other words, I don't have the highest degree of confidence. My baking pan's outside, you know. 5 after the hour, not quite here. Yeah, we're gonna go about 3 more minutes, Ronnie. It's better to be slightly overdone than underdone. Better be a little bit over than under because we want all these flavors to meld together. We just want to be a little more patient with it. We can actually turn off the heat now. We'll wait a couple more minutes. We'll turn off the heat and let the residual. Remember, these things continue baking while they're, even though the heat's off. They're nice and tender. That dough is like super soft. Cognac and ramen, is there anything wilder in the world? Please hit the thumbs up if you've not done so. We've had a very interesting stream tonight. All right. I'm going to turn the heat off and let the residual heat finish cooking them out. So we're going to open that in about 5 minutes. We'll set up in here. Man, my taxes are done. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. I'm not sure. I know I got Vegas, LA and Vegas at the end of the month. My youngest daughter will be dropping a baby soon. I gotta give attention to the older one. You know, you gotta balance off when you're. All right. Oh, yeah. So good. I'm gonna do a quick short. Then tomorrow I can freeze a lot of these up. You gotta be damn careful. Holding this pan is gonna be hotter than a $2 pistol on an August night in Baltimore City, baby. It ain't gonna be a pretty sight. Oh, shit. I lose my damn noodles. 10 after. All right, here we go. Man, look at those babies. Wow-wee. Wow-wee. Look at those babies. I mean, what the hell? I'm going to do a quick short. There they are. Look at that. We're going to just pop those over. We need them to congeal now. Look at the way all those pecans found their way in. That's the bottom of them. What do you think of that? Doesn't look amazing. Look at how soft that dough is. Look at that. Can you imagine the bottom of that? All that ooey gooey goodness when we flip these over and let them cool tonight. Come on, guys. If that's not worth a thumbs up tonight, look at that. Ronnie, what do you think? Woo-wee. I think it looks astounding. What the hell I think. I would eat one of these, Ronnie, especially if somebody gave it to me for free. What the hell? We flip those over, they're going to look so good on the bottom because they're going to have absorbed all that goodness. And what's in the pan, we can just butter the top of them, let that sit overnight. I'm just set. Absolutely amazing. Thank you, Timothy. I appreciate you. Thank you. They're going to be a treat. I'm going to move this off of the stove now, and I'm going to sit it over here. Thank you, Mr. Kim. I appreciate you. Thank you, sir. We're always doing cool stuff on the Rancho here. As the people will tell you, we're going to sit that right there. We could even take it outside. And you lift them up underneath, they are soft, delicious, well cooked. Now we just let them firm up before we do the big flip. Then we let them cool off and then cover them tonight. Then tomorrow, we separate and we freeze them. Right now, it's going to take a while to congeal. It's going to take a while to go till we flip them. Remember, this is the downside here. The other side is loaded with sauce and pecans and all that. Boy, that thing already turned up. I'm enjoying the heat from the oven because it's cold tonight. This is non-stick, as you can tell. I'll have the rest. That's it. They turned out amazing. I can't wait till about a half hour. Flip those bad boys over. I could basically put them outside to cool off, but I'd be afraid the cats will do something stupid to them. Cheers, everybody. Let's go out here. Yeah, you never know. Cats do stupid shit out there all the time, so you got to kind of protect them from themselves. Plus, they just got fed by blackbirds, so they're in a pretty good spirits. There we go, in front of the mythic wall of sound. Ronnie, you can let me know when it's about 8:40 my time. And then we'll do the big flip. I just had one of those pecans. It was so damn tasty. Oh, man. One of those pecans is so damn tasty. Can you believe Dr. Frankenstein? I finally finished my taxes today because I have a good printer. And I wasn't frustrated with HP cartridge problems. I'm like, my cartridge problem days are done, bro. That's it. What am I, third world? I said, the hell with that, man. I said, the hell with that. The hell with that. Counterfeit cartridge, screw it. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is older, older than the seas, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country road, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. I hear her voice in the morning light, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get a feeling like I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country road. Now way down in Kentucky, my mama told me, making that moonshine, make a batch for me. We got it in the jug, it was oh so fun. That all the folks come around all of the time. So give me that old Mountain Dew, they'll do. I fill up my jug and I fill up my mug with that good old Mountain Dew. Eastbound down, keep on trucking. We got we got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Now that and Texarkana. Jerry Reed, man. Brought to you by Kellogg's Cornflakes. Start every morning the Battle Creek way with Kellogg's. Oh man, Roosevelt, you were so fun. Oh, you were so fun. I can't wait to turn out those sticky buns. Please remember to give your thumbs up. Yeah, guys, we're almost to 100 thumbs up tonight. It is appreciated. Where in the hell did my shot go, Ronnie? Look at this. Ronnie's like my Ed McMahon here. He's like, Rosie, I gotta keep track of all the shit you do. So give me that old Mountain Dew. I fill up my jug and fill up my mug with that good old Mountain Dew. Oh man. Oh wow. Wow, turning that out could be a disaster, you never know. Many is the slip between the cup and the lip. Don't forget it. Bakers know that's the reality. That's the reality. Ronnie's amazing. Ronnie is freaking amazing. He was here years before he ever held that moderator wrench. He's been everything. He's been an outstanding friend. We want to make sure that stuff is good and set. I guess I kind of wish I put wax paper in the bottom, but what the hell, it's too late now. We do have the aniline surface. I think if you really hit it hard, Ronnie, dude, you are my wingman. Are you kidding me? Yeah, they work hard. And what do they get? A thank you. But you'll notice whenever I close out a stream, I never close out a stream without thanking my moderators. I thought I saw Alan Gentry in here. I became a member on the channel now. Sports channel, the guy's name. Kelly, did you send him an ass pic? Just asking for a friend. Oh, Tara, we're not going for nutrition, are you? You can nutritionize yourself in the next life. Kelly's like, damn, what the hell, man? Kelly, what guy doesn't like a nice hiney pic? Oh, that's great, Russ. That's the best news I've had tonight, bro. Good on you. That is amazing. That really makes me feel good. Well, Kelly, you're a little late for the tits part. Hey, how you doing now? We're getting ready to turn them out. What's up, MR? We're getting ready to turn them out. Nice to see you, MR. We just made up some time. We're getting ready to turn them out. Kelly, it's been pouring rain and it's cold out. All right? Let's be real, hon. Oh, your new Honda Civic, nice. Let's be real, Kelly. Kitchen Stadium usually begins up in about May 1st. So keep your drawers on. We have indoor. She bullied and game dancing, saying a wobble. Jeez. This is somebody's mother, man. Nicole, you want I should talk to her or what? Eat peanuts. This is my dinner tonight. I don't need it. I already had some ramen. This is it. Peanuts are such an excellent all-around food. Good to see you, MR. I haven't seen you in a while. Make sure to hit the thumbs up button, everybody. Delicious. I don't know, MR. I'm like a peanut addict, dude. Peanuts are such a good natural snack. It's a kind of food that your body really enjoys working with. How are you doing, Nicole? What we're doing now is waiting for those bakery stuff to consolidate. I had to clean a lot of toilets for the Honda, my old one. That's good. I got 151,000 of mine, and you know what I did? I replaced the serpentine belt at about 100,000 miles. I figured this is probably going to go. Probably at a bad time. So I went over and had the serpentine belt changed out. I love peanuts, man. Peanuts are such a healthy food. You ever notice the stuff that comes from nature is like healthy? Look at this. I got the cognac glow. Roosevelt, you are so fine. You are so fine. One little shot tonight. Just one shot. If you don't let these consolidate and you turn it over, it just goes everywhere. The goo just flies everywhere. You want this stuff to be firm. Yeah, this is why I got the name when I was growing up, Melody. At the drop of a hat, my cheeks would be rosy, like something out of some kind of movie or something, like some kind of punk kid. Oh yeah, how you doing? You want to fight me? It's a lot of people try to talk about her. She won't stop. I just don't understand this broad. You had a nice boyfriend, didn't you? Didn't you, Nicole, when she broke you up with him? Didn't she interfere with your boyfriend or something? Tried to take your boyfriend? And that's when you smashed your teeth in with the baseball bat or something? Something like that. My memory might be a little faulty. I don't know. Like she lost her teeth or something. I don't know. You had that nice white boy boyfriend, and then she took him away from. I think I remember the thing. I don't know. Was that right? I can't quite hardly remember. Yeah, Nicole's put up with a lot of shit. You know, she used to be a premier softball player. They kicked her out of the whole program. She couldn't even play softball anymore. Then she went to another area to try to get on their softball team. This woman followed her, poisoned the well with calumny, lies. She couldn't play over there. This Carrie Barrett has been going on for years and years and years. And I don't know if they're prejudiced or what the story is, but they've always had the stink eye out for Nicole, all and her mother. So, but Nicole used to be able to empty the bases, man, with that deep shot straight away center field. Imagine no longer being able to play. I'm surprised we don't have anybody else that's in more senior authority at these leagues that says, well, we got to stop this bullshit. It's tough. I mean, that's not right. We're talking about special needs baseball. And when you have this kind of infighting going on, remember, I was 2 years in special education. 6 months classroom practicum. 9 months in a 3-4 blended class in Baltimore City. Bimb, how you doing? It's all a nightmare. I guess she split. I don't know. I think she's heartbroken because it's softball season starting up. What are you gonna do? You're like the Babe Ruth of softball, and that's it. Let me go check these babies. Oh. Are you guys ready for the big flip? We got about 5 more minutes. And we're going to do the big flip. The big flip. We're still really kind of warm. We got about 5 minutes till the big flip. Oh, we're going to get the business side of those babies right there. Respect the game, baseball. This is softball. This girl's got a problem down there. I don't know whether it's racism or what the hell's going on. There's been bad blood between this other girl and between Nicole and her friend's mother for years. Good night, Alex. Take care. Yeah, 5 minutes. I'm getting ready to flip them over if you can hold on for 5 more. We're 1 away from 100 thumbs up here, guys. Make it count. Make it count. These babies are congealing nicely. Right here. Congealing nicely right there. That's it. We're getting ready to flip these. They're firming up nicely, which is good. That's exactly what you want. We're going to get the big board out. And we're going to coat this baby. We're going to put down a run of wax paper here. We're going to double this baby up. Right there. Put that face down. We want all that goo to stay there because we got a chance to add that back. I'm using wax paper. That's the end of the wax paper. You guys are going to have to remind me to get more wax paper. I like it better than parchment paper. All right. We're ready. We are ready. Wow, look at that. Holy smokes. Holy. Look at that, Ronnie. Look at that, dude. I mean, come on, man. Look at that. Is that not worthy of a YouTube short? I mean, look at that. I mean, Ronnie, holy crap. Look at it. I mean, that's absolutely textbook. I'm going to do a YouTube short. Stand by, everybody. I mean, look at that. Catherine, look at those babies. Thank you, Catherine. That's a compliment coming from her because she's 10 times the chef and 10 times the cook that I'll ever be. What do you think, Dr. Frankenstein? Look at that. Wow. Look at how it all stuck on there, too. None of it came off. Isn't that nice, Rosemary? We can let them sit and set tonight. Then tomorrow, softball, I'm going to, hold on 1 second here. Thank you, Alex, for sticking around. Oh. I got this big fat sticky buns, and I'm sure if you put that in the search, that's going to come up right there. That's the recipe I use. I think I should try one too, Judy. What the hell? I think you're exactly correct. Right as rain as usual. Why in the hell not? I'll be a fat little bastard. I think you're exactly right. Let's clean this off first. I hate to see dirty dishes around. Wow, they look good, doesn't it? Doesn't that look softball? That's what it's called. Big fat pecan. It's very highly rated. Thank you for being here tonight and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the thumbs up if you haven't done so. We always enjoy welcoming new people aboard. I'll tell you, that was beyond my expectations tonight. And one thing I did was I let that set up in that pan for a while. All right. We're going to take this baby off right here. Let's get our knife. We're going to take this baby right here. Look at the way that's separated right there. Look at that. You can see the inside filling there. Let me get a plate. Oh, man. I can't believe how good these turned out. Isn't that beautiful? That's the end one I did right there. Wowee. Damn, that's like a dream. Let's go in the other room. I never dreamed that would turn out that great. They can sit there all night and firm up. Wow. Catherine, I wish I could give you some. Let me get a fork here. All right, that was nice and softball tonight. Where's my beer? Beer and cinnamon buns. Why the hell not? I've never had a recipe. Well, I've had a lot of recipes turn out, but this one was just textbook perfect. This was the end piece too. Look at that dough there. Mm. Judy, when I would cut stuff with the knife over the years, it would pinch a little bit when it was cutting, and it wouldn't allow an even rise. It would look slightly depressed. Once I started using dental floss, and you can put the piece underneath and then loop it over top and then pull, it gave very clean separation there. Wow. Cinnamon flavored. That's great, Ron. Ronnie, they just came out. Smart as I am. That knife tends to pull inward, whereas the dental floss has very little resistance. I would have refrigerated that dough and rolled that much tighter than I did. But by doing it loose, the dough is very soft and delicious on it, which makes a huge difference. This shit is just fork tender. Holy crap. Bakery level. That dough is cooked to perfection, not hard, not doughy. Cooked to perfection. That was the end piece. It wasn't swirled all the way around. Wow. You know what? Beer goes good with it amazingly. Bagel boy. I give up on Bagel boy. He wants to hump all those grains. Look at how soft and fluffy that dough turned out. That can sit there all night. Tomorrow, just cut them up, freeze them. Feel a little bit sad one day. Just pull one out, turn that frown upside down. That's it. Bagel boy. Some people just want to do shit the hard way, Dr. Frankenstein. If you have a recipe, send it to me. Oh, this is so good. And you know what, Catherine? This was the end piece. So it doesn't have the swirl that goes all the way down. But it's still unbelievable. Thank you, Cindy. There's a recipe that worked like clockwork. Bagel boy. What kills me is the dough is perfect. It's baked. It's not hard. It's not soft. It's just like unreal. All right, guys, on that note, I think I've patted myself on the back enough here tonight. If you've not hit that thumbs up button, I appreciate it if you do. It's not often I bake, but I like to think when I bake that stuff turns out really well. And tonight really, really exceeded my expectations, and it was amazing. So thank you, my moderators, Judy, Ronnie, Scottish Sarah, and Shimei. Thank you very much for everything you do. Certain people I haven't seen for a while, Catherine. So Rosemary Lopez, we welcome softball tonight. Thank you, Melody, for your kind donation. Everybody else, thank you so much for being here tonight. Amazing.